Okay, more villain stuff. So we had two chapters that were maybe gesturing at something subversive by looking at, I guess, a labour relations thing in one chapter, and then the nerd stuff in the Francis chapter. But then we had the space chapter, which was kind of mechanically different because we're in a platform game and then suddenly we're in space and not swimming, so it's a bit unlike other things we've seen. But on the other hand, it didn't work very well. It wasn't fun or engaging, it was just confusing and difficult to read the levels. And if you thought that was bad, and I certainly did, this next chapter is far worse, despite not having any space bits. That was just routine discussion. But now we're going to get some characterization. So there's a suggestion of a kind of romantic tragedy there, which I guess is what this story is telling us, which it's tiresome really. Game villains don't need romantic tragedy, it doesn't work. And there's another romance brewing as well. I haven't established what is supposed to have caused this at all. It actually, at another point, it's kind of suggested that all the pixels were not always pixels, but anyway. This presumably means that Tippie is the girl that Bleck was talking about in the previous cutscene. Which I guess makes her Timpani from the narration. At least Bowser's shock face is still good. Oh, also I discovered that in the attract mode, it actually has the scene of Peach and Bowser's wedding, which is a weird place for it. But now, well, no, I don't want to save again. As ever, I want to organise some items. I'm not, by the way, getting rid of the vault shroom because we're going to use that later. Am I selling it? I'm not selling anything else, hang on. I do, however, want to buy some more healing. There will be some fighty stuff in this chapter. Hopefully it'll be fairly trivial. But now we are starting to get into the variety of ways in which this chapter is a total pain. Because the first thing we have to do, of course, is find the next heart pillar, which is an area of the town that we haven't actually been to before. Where there is a fleep spot. For no reason, really. And this leads us to this place, which is called the Mirror Hall. And sure enough, there's a mirror in which Mario doesn't have a reflection. And there are these blocks, which different ones of them change different sets. And you could go mad trying to solve this puzzle, if you wanted to. But it turns out, supposedly, all you need to do is hit all of them once. And you can hit them in different orders as well. You can hit them right to left, and possibly just in any order. But this brings us to Flopside, not to be confused with Flipside. I'm going the wrong way. It is a kind of structural mirror image of Flipside. It's not an exact mirror image, and it's kind of got this rundown vibe to it. And of course, it has Flopside Merlon. He has absolutely nothing useful to contribute except explaining this. Before we do any of that though, there's another shortcut, because bloody hell I don't want to have to go all that way again. Given how much 3D stuff is needed. I like that guy, he's helpful. No, I didn't want to go in there. This is the problem with D-pad up on such a tiny D-pad being the interact. Also, the other feature of Flopside that makes it different is that the tower here is black instead of white. But yeah, it's very easy to end up rocking to upright or downright rather than straight right, and thus either duck a bunch or interact a bunch. That's why I've been jumping over doors. This game is kind of a mess. And I wish I could play it with the Pro Pad, but my only Pro Pad is a Wii U Pro Pad, which doesn't work with Wii Mode. And Nullroom shows up basically just to tell us that again. And this is why we opened that pipe. Still can't skip this bloody lift though. Tippie has definitely fallen for Mario, which is just what this game needed. First thing to note in this chapter, it keeps trying to use Crag like it's a joke in some way, like it's a pun, but I've not once spotted how it's supposed to be funny. And for some reason this door's in the middle of thin air. Mario Wile E. Coyote version. At least that's a good animation. And we fall immediately into this tribal ritual where they're trying to pray for intercession from their god. And we don't get a chance to say whether we're going to help or not. Well, actually we do, but not here. I have no idea what's up with the dialect either. And honestly, like, the chapter doesn't really do anything with this conceit until right at the end. It's just like, we're gonna have the framing of this white saviour narrative to no overall effect. Anyway, meet the plant people. Who are, by the way, obviously completely sentient and civilized. I didn't want to go back in their game they still out here? Yep. They're civilized, and for some reason they have the pure heart. We can't go in any of these houses this time. Including the tiny one, we are going to get the shrink power this chapter. But not in a situation where there'll be any incentive to come back here. So if I catch them left sleeping, I can now hurt them, but only if I catch them sleeping. And this is a dead end, with just these 3 blocks here. So what you have to do, if you don't actually already know what you have to do, which I do because I looked it up, is go back to the Cragnon village. That'll be relevant for later, but there's also this guy. And he tells you left, right, middle is the code. So okay, we shall go back to those blocks and we shall hit them left, right and middle. So far, so very standard video game puzzle. Peach, get up there. You can do that without going back. As with pretty much everything in this game, the codes work regardless. And now we're in an interesting area. In kind of Battle Royale territory. Where all we do is bully these things with Bowser, because they have 100 HP each. And there are... well, we'll count them, I forget how many, it's 5 or 6 I think. One. Two. You can jump over them, but they get XP. So there's 5 total, I guess. And here's 3 more blocks. Well, what do we do with the blocks? We go left, right, middle, and it doesn't do anything. So what we're going to do is go back to the village again and see if there's a different code, because oh boy is there a different code. So this is now our second load of backtracking. We're not going anywhere near the other end of this area because there's nothing there worth having. Now get ready for some peak video game bullshit. So we have to type in please. It's case sensitive. Again, you don't have to do this. The code works regardless. But he makes you say it twice. And then he makes you say it 3 more times. And yes, we're typing it out 3 more times. Which with this fucking D-pad is a nightmare. I'm good at spelling. Also, this, like, letter layout is really, really bad. Yes, I actually already have it written down because I poached it from a guide, but sure. So here's the code. This is an extremely bad video game, is what I'm getting at here. Peach, get on the damn block. So now I'm going to have to try to enter this code correctly. Middle, right, left, left, right, middle, right, left, right, right, middle, right, right, left, middle, middle, left, 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 right, left, 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 middle, middle. Okay, that's 3 times from 3 that I've correctly entered that code first try. Oh, hang on. Wrong way. Part 1 of the chapter done.